afternoon, beautiful people. How is everybody doing today? How is everybody doing? Send me a love heart shower if you are jumping on and you're having an amazing day. I hope everybody is having a great day. I will be perfectly honest, I'm feeling a little energetically drunk today, for lack of a better phrasing. I did a whole bunch of my own kind of like energy work and clearing and cleansing yesterday. Just did a whole lot of kind of tuning in with self and allowing some clearing and cleansing. And so I am feeling definitely a little bit energetically drunk, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It was I got some really good meditation in. I got some really good messages and just releasing going on. It was quite beautiful, but it kind of got me to think about all that we hold in our bodies, and not only all that we hold in our bodies, but more specifically numbed out sex. So I have a ton of female clients right now that are really experiencing this, and not only that, but I get questions frequently about this numbed out sex place. And so yesterday when I was doing all my own kind of release work, it really, because I have different spots in my body which are holding things, and I was like, I should really talk about that. And so I'm here, I'm talking about it. But this is particularly for women, this particular video. However, it is for you men. I'm just going to focus more on women today. Now, I'm not going to go into super great detail because this is not orgasm camp. If you want to come to orgasm camp, you're going to have to get your booty to Dallas in August, and then you can get all the juicy deep details, or join my Instantly Orgasmic Woman program that I did a couple years ago. That is on my programs page. But anyway, back to numbed out sex. So throughout our lives, we really go into these places of emotion and trauma. And when I say trauma, that doesn't necessarily mean sexual trauma. It could mean sexual trauma, but it could mean just like even those like little irritations. Our hips, our pelvic floor holds intense amounts of emotion, good emotion, negative emotion, anything. And in truth, our bodies don't know the difference between, what we would classify as trauma and just like that fight or flight response. No matter what, it holds. And so many times women will come to me and they'll go, and men do this too, but men don't tend to realize that their sex is numbed out as often. Sometimes I do get men that do realize it, or they come to me and they're like, yes, my sex is numbed out. However, it's more common, sorry, my nose ring. It's more common for me to hear about it from my female clients, my friends, anybody who is female in my life, even myself at times. And that is that feeling of like, you don't feel your sex, you don't feel your genitals. Even if you're like tuning in and you're like really good at like tuning into that energy, you still don't feel your genitals. You really struggle to it is almost like that itch that you can't scratch. That sounds like really weird, but that it's like almost below the surface, your orgasm, the feeling, the sensation. And so the reason this happens is because of several different reasons, but one is because of held stuff in our bodies. Again, we hold and we hold and we hold all this stuff in our bodies, and one area we never actually focus on, and I mean really focus on. You could be having all the sex you want. You could be like, going at it intensely and still not be releasing the trauma in your genitals. That requires actually a soft, like releasing pressure, some acupressure, some, really good massage to get in there and start to really release that trauma and that emotion, and to then experience that emotion. And that's the other thing. A lot of times, even if somebody is getting, the touch, the massage, what they need on that level, it brings up emotion, and if we hold the emotion down, we don't actually release the area, it will just get restuck. We won't dethaw it. And so many women will go, I don't feel my partner, I don't feel sex, I don't feel orgasm, I can't feel my especially like G-spot and cervical stuff. Guys or women will be like, I don't feel, like, do I have a G-spot? And I'm like, yes, you do have a G-spot. Yes, you can orgasm through your G-spot. However, you're probably numbed out, you're probably holding things. Or if you are actually experiencing pain, that's also another sign that you are holding things in your genitals, but anywhere else in your body too. But especially in like the G-spot for women and the cervix. The cervix is like the mother lode of emotion for a woman. It holds so much, but also the G-spot does as well. Another reason though that we could be, and it all comes back to emotion, honestly, because yes, we might be holding trauma and stored things in that way. However, when you're in the bedroom with your partner, if you are not dropping in and you're not in a space of trust and surrender, then you're not going to feel. You're going to actually shut your sensation down. You're going to shut your sensation down. And then you're going to be sitting there going, you know, I don't feel him. I don't feel him. I get a lot of women that are like, I don't feel him. And then they give up. They give up. Instead of going like, I don't feel him. And it's not about the climax. It's not that's not what orgasm is. And if you are stuck on the climax, especially as a woman, you are not going to, well, men too, but you're not going to fully feel that all those orgasmic waves, all the different kinds of orgasm that you can have. You're going to just experience like that surface level. But it is that deeper orgasm that we're wanting. That is going to release all those beautiful, yummy chemicals in our brains. That's going to what's going to fill us up as women. If you are a woman and you are like bitchy and cranky and you just don't have any passion in life and things like that, then one of those reasons is because you're not getting good orgasm. And if we are numbed out in our sex, we are not going to have really good orgasm. But if you are with your partner and you've got like all this stuff going on in your head, I can remember actually, it wasn't that long ago, but I was with a partner and I was, he was playing with his fingers and he was like going down and he was doing an amazing job. It had nothing to do with him. He was present. He was in a complete, giving place, and I was in a complete receiving place. Well, I was the receiver, but I had not fully surrendered. And I had all these thoughts kind of going on in my head, and it numbed me out. It completely numbed my sex out. I couldn't feel him. And he was like, you didn't feel that? I'm like, no, I didn't have a climax. And I could kind of have these moments of like feeling it and be like, oh, that feels good. And then I would shut it down. And then I'd be like, oh, it feels good. Shut it down. Shut it down. Shut it down. And it was actually a beautiful lesson. It was a beautiful noticing. And again, it was my thoughts, but even when I did surrender, because I did at some point during this process surrender into my body had been in a state of fight or flight for so long at that point that it wasn't going to really allow me to feel. I had to go in there, I had to do my work, and when I say my work, I mean my internal work, but also my physical work. We tend to forget that we have to actually do the physical work, and I don't mean like going and journaling. Yes, that's physical work, but I mean the actual like embodiment work. I mean like getting not your vibrator, but getting, a glass toy and like going in there and just slowly massaging, or letting your partner go in there and really massage, really reawaken. But again, it comes back to the emotion. It's either stored emotion or it's thoughts going on in our heads, and we close down, causing this numbness. And it's almost like a callus that we have to kind of strip away. And so many women are like, no, but I'm not having an orgasm, so I'm just going to grab the vibrator, I'm just going to do this, and it actually makes it 10 times worse. We are just amplifying the problem at that point because we're going for that quick fix, when really if we just slowed our asses down and just was like, okay, I'm going to focus in here, I'm going to do some conscious touch, I don't even mean just on your genitals, but reawakening your whole body so you could feel that energy. Also, some conscious touch, either from yourself or from a partner on your genitals. Really, your partner is going to be better, because the truth is, I've known many women that can make themselves kind of go into that orgasmic state. However, they can't surrender with the partner. They can't surrender with the partner. They have trained themselves to only orgasm through masturbation. And then you do the exact same thing. You do the exact same thing. I have many men that have trained themselves in masturbation to the point that they can't really feel their woman. They can't feel their cock. You can't feel your pussy, because you have really kind of, not deadened, but almost calloused over those nerve endings. And you don't go into a place of surrender, so you're really not going to feel at the level you could. So, obviously not everybody has a partner, and so if you don't have a partner, then yes, doing conscious touch by yourself is going to be a beautiful thing. It's a great way to start. However, if you do have a partner, it is having that, potentially that conversation and going, I am struggling. I'm struggling, and I really could use you to, do 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour of just work on my body, of like getting in there and touching me and letting me just tune into my sensation slowly. And this is a gift we really have to give ourselves. But if we want to de-thaw our sex, this is required. It's a requirement, guys. It really is. And I know you're like, oh, well, the vibrator's good enough, or the quick, bang, bang, bam, bam, thank you, ma'am, kind of stuff. It's good enough, but it's not filling you up. It's not going to truly, embody you, and really you're not going to get to that next level of like sex that's so amazing. You like throw your head back and you are just like riding that wave for so long. But it is all in our thoughts. It's in our physical body as well. If we have kind of calloused things over, if we've numbed out some nerve endings, they can be reignited. They can, but it is about the embodiment work. It is about the conscious touch work. It is about getting into your emotions, really going, okay, what is holding me back? Like that one example I was sharing about not very long ago, where I was noticing I was kind of numbed out in my sexing. It really was one thought. It was, I was like, okay, it was one thought, and I'm not going to go into it because it's actually more intimate than I want to get with you guys on this Facebook Live, so I'm going to be honest about that. But it was like, the thought was like, okay, this right here, I've been told isn't okay to feel pleasure in this. In this, it's not okay to feel pleasure. And that was my program. I knew consciously, I'm like, that's stupid. That shame that I'm feeling, that is completely stupid. Totally dumb. However, it was a program, and I had to work through that program. I had to release that program. But in the moment, I was numbing out because of that program, and also because I was just struggling to surrender. And I don't know a woman who has not been at some point in her life in like a numb place in her sexing. And sometimes it really is just that we're stressed. I mean, we all have those days as well, where we are just really, like, we have a lot going on, and so our head is going, and that head going keeps us from embodying ourselves. So if you are experiencing numbed out sex, either here and there or consistently, really look at the programs playing in your head. If you're truly embodying yourself, if you've got conscious touch going on, and if you're trusting your partner, if you're allowing yourself to surrender, and what is your goal in your sexing? If your goal is not orgasm, if your goal is climax, then you're actually potentially putting distance between you and your own pleasure, because you have got this goal, you've got this expectation, you are like going for it, and you're not going to get that true, beautiful orgasmic energy. So I said this at the beginning, and this is not a current program that I'm promoting, but if you're a woman and you want to know more about that, you can check out my Instantly Orgasmic Woman program, which is an amazing program I did 2 years ago. I think it was maybe a year and a half ago. It's a really amazing program. And then also, if you're in the DFW area, check out O Camp in August. But currently, I'm actually doing my Only Sexy Men Need a Fly program, my mastermind. That's 4 weeks to help you guys date better and yes, even have better sex. So if you are a man and you are struggling with the dating world, go check that out. It is an amazing program, probably one of the best programs I've actually ever created. I am like fucking so excited about this program. It's gonna be really deep. It's gonna be really intense. We're gonna get in there. We're gonna change some dating lives. You are gonna be a different man going into your dating world if you do the work. If you do the work. I can't force you to do the work. But if you do the work, I promise you that you will make some headway on your dating scene. So anyway, I am gonna keep grounding here for a few minutes and getting through this energetic drunkenness that I'm still feeling from all my self-care work yesterday. But I will catch you guys tomorrow for another Addison Unleashed. Sending you lots of love, light, and blessings.